My name is Venkatagopi Mugga from Gayatri Vidya Parishad College of Engineering. I have built the personal finance tracker website which can track the income, track daily expenses, and view overall budget in one place. Let's take a quick look at how it works. Here is my backend folder which have middlewares, models, routes, and a upload folder which contains the user transaction receipts. Here is the front-end folder which have components, pages, and styles, etc. Here are the components for chatbot, line chart, pie chart, receipt transactions, receipt upload button, sidebar, summary cards, transaction model, transaction table, toasts, which for toast for notification, and pages like add transaction, authorization page, dashboard, profile, receipt uploads, settings, summary graphs, transaction history, etc. I am running the web application. Initially, the login page is loaded. Here, the user must register before login. Here is the registration page. Here the user can provide name, email and password, etc. I have already registered. After successful login page redirects to the dashboard. Here in the dashboard there is 3 summary cards which represents the total income, total expenses and current balance. Here is 2 buttons to add transaction by form and to add transaction by uploading the receipt. Here are 2 graphs which represents the expenses. Here is the pie chart represents the expenses by category and the line chart represents the expenses over time. Here are the recent transactions. Now I am adding a transaction. We can see there are multiple fields. Here is the type of transaction like expense or income. I am selecting expense and here is the expense category. The categories are shown based on the type we selected. When I select expenses, the categories like recharge bills, money sent, shopping, etc. If I select income, the categories as salary, business, interest, and money received, etc. I am selecting expense, and I am selecting shopping here, and we can add subcategory. I am entering the amount 6,000. We can choose the currency type also, and date of the transaction. I am selecting today's date. Here is a description about the transaction. I am entering family shopping. Here is the type of transaction. I am selecting UPI. We can add tags here which can be used for further filtering. And here is the status of the transaction. I am click on add. You can see the transaction has created successfully, and the amount also reflected in the dashboard. Here we can see the family shopping. Here it represents the negative value because it is an expense. Also, the values are also reflected in the graph. We can also add transaction by uploading the receipt. The receipt may be the image or PDF with multiple bills also. Initially, I am uploading the image. Here we can see that the bill2.png. When I click upload, the upload process starts. In the background, the OCR extract the text from the image and convert it into that structured format and upload it into the database. You can see that the date is 19th and the amount is 1999. Here the date is 19th and the amount is 1999. The amount also reflected in the dashboard also. Previously the balance is 35,000 plus. Now the balance is 37,000 plus. You can also upload the receipt by PDF also. Here I am choosing the PDF. I am showing the PDF also. Here in the PDF there is 3 bills on different dates and different amounts. Here the system detects the 3 bills from the PDF. We can see that 3 different dates and 3 different payments also. Here the amount is reflected in the dashboard, and we can also see here on 20th date and this one on 15th date and 10th date. Here is on 10th date, on 15th and on 20th. The system successfully extract the receipt from the PDF also. Here is the chatbot I have added. Here is a chatbot which responds for only the financial questions and money related questions. Initially I am sending hi. When I send hi, it says hi and says my current balance, which is 44,554. And I can also questions related to my dashboard and my portfolio, like my portfolio, etc. I'm asking what about my expenses. It replies with my expenses summary, and I can also ask questions like money related, like how to save more money. Here it says my current balance and some tips to save the money. Whenever the user asks the query, I send the query and along with the summary of the user account to the backend, and the backend process the query and sends to the Google Gemini API. The API returns the response, and the response is rendered to the front end. Here is the history page with pagination support. You can also select the number of rows per page. Here we can see that there are some filters. I am choosing income. The only income related transactions are filtered. And we can also add further filtering also, like travel, recharges, etc. If I click reset, the filters are reset. Here is the options to edit and delete the transactions. If you click on the edit, the current transaction comes to the editing form. You can also delete the transaction. For example, I am deleting this 1,000 rupees transaction. Currently the dashboard have 44,000 balance. If I delete this 1,000 rupees transaction, the transaction is deleted and updated in the dashboard, because that is a expense transaction. That's why the amount is increased. The changes are reflected in the dashboard also. Here the chatbot is supported for every page. Here is the summary and graphs page. The user can know about his trends on income and expense. Here is the line graph representing the income and expense monthly wise. You can see that expense and income on specific month. Here is the expense by category and the top 5 categories. Here is the payment method distribution. Status of the Here is the status of the transactions, and here is the heat map representing the days and months. Here is the heat map representing the transaction on the specific date. If we point on specific date, the number of transactions done on that date also be displayed. And here is a dedicated page for the receipt upload. Here are the transactions that is uploaded by the receipts. Here also the filtering and pagination support is included. And on the settings page, you can see the settings like to switch themes like between dark and light, and also to delete the account. And in the profile page, it shows say basic details like email and the account created date. You can edit profile also. You can log out, and I have added the toggle between the light and darken themes. Here is the dark theme. Here is the dark theme of summary and graphs. I am again switching to light theme. And here the chatbot only responds to the finance and money related questions. For example, if I ask other than that, for example, what is the score of today's match, cricket match, it says it can only provide information about finances. I have used the MongoDB database. I have used the MongoDB Atlas. Here is the two collections, transactions and users. Users for keep track of user accounts and transactions. For example, if I click on transactions collection, the data is loaded. It also supports the multi-user functionality. I'm log out. I log out here and register as a new user. Here we can see that there is no transactions existed because he is a new user. There is no history. Means there is no overlapping between the transactions of one user and another user. And I am log out. Here I log out and again log in with my account. Here we can see that my account history, my account summary. Means it can also support multi-user usage. It's all about the personal finance assistant application. Thank you.